Hello and welcome with Born Again Yoga. Today is going to be a lovely practice about cultivating peace and calmness in the mind. So when you're ready, go ahead to get started. Today we're going to go in child's pose. So come onto your mat. You can take the normal variation of child's pose with the knees wide and then the arms go out. And see how this feels. If it's comfortable enough to be here for a couple minutes, you can stay here. Or if you want to try the other variation of child's pose, you can push up with your hands. Slowly bring the knees together and let your belly relax on top of the legs and reach the arms back. While your palms are face up, you're going to let your head touch the ground. Hold on to the pinky toes if it feels all right. Thumbs push into the soles of the feet. And let your shoulder blades peel away from the spine. So anytime you're face down, especially with the forehead resting on the mat, this is a great time to tell the mind to be quiet and to settle. No more need for restless thoughts. We want to be focused here and create a sense of peace. Let's go ahead when you're ready. We're going to start to focus on the breath. Nice big inhales. Full and complete exhales. And this time with your next inhale, really feel, where are you feeling it in your body? Are you feeling the breath and between the shoulder blades, maybe back on the lower back by the kidneys, side body, belly, chest? Nothing right or wrong, just really taking the time to note it. And with your exhale, make it audible. Couple more just like that. Nice big inhales. Full and complete exhales. And you can stay still here, or you can start to rock the head side to side while you're taking those nice deep breaths. We just really want to focus here. Anytime we come onto our mat, it's like a little prayer when we want to focus our attention on God and being at peace. So giving up anything that's not serving you and getting in the way of following our Father. And letting anything go with that exhale. Again, inhale, inviting Him into your life. Breathing in love. God, exhaling you. Good, and then from here, whichever variation you took, it does not matter. We're going to start to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. From here, slowly start to push up and come nice and slow. All the way up. No head rush here. Loop the shoulders down and around. Good. From here, as long as it's okay on your knees, you can stay up here. Otherwise, if your knees hurt, then go off and sit off to the side maybe, or you can do cross-legged pose, whatever's comfortable. Otherwise, from here, inhale, you're going to lift all the way up. Exhale down. And if you're on your knees, this way you can lift up too. Exhale down. Connecting with your breath. Inhales to come up. Exhale down. Feeling connected with your breath and the spirit within. Letting the breath be your guide on when to move. One last time. Inhale all the way up with the arms. Exhale, come back down. Good. From here, go ahead. We're going to pull ourselves forward into a tabletop position. And with tabletop, you want your knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, and push away from the mat. Doesn't matter if your feet are pointed or flexed, whatever feels good on the knees. From here, let the tailbone start to tuck, belly down to the ground, chest and chin all the way up. You can do some little C curves. Think of the right shoulder coming and peeling back to meet the hip. Sending the left one forward if this is a nice stretch. Going to the other way. Can kind of connect it with your breath again. Maybe inhale, come center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Good. Inhale, center. And then exhale. We're going to replace your hands with your elbows. Come on down nice and slow, getting forearms parallel to one another. And from here, you're going to scoot the butt and the legs back a little bit. You can stay here if it feels good, or begin to melt down with the chest. And keep the arms even open a little bit more. Let the chin come down. One more full breath here. Relaxing with the exhale. Push into the hands. Come back up to that forearm stance. Knees kind of come in. Just again, going slow today, really with purpose and intention. And any little movement you do, taking one hand, replacing it with the elbow, same with the other one, pushing up and away. This time we're going to take the left leg out as wide as the mat, and the right one's going to send it out straight. So I'm going to show you from a different view. Your knees are typically underneath your hips. Send that left one out. The right one goes straight again. So push away from the mat with your arms. And from here, we're going to start to go to the left and back a little bit towards the heel. You're going to feel a nice stretch on the inner right thigh. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back. Inhales up. Exhale, back. Still engaging the core and pushing away, feeling grounded with your arms. Moving again with your breath. Breathing in, God. Exhale, surrendering down a little bit. Surrendering you, breathing out anything that's not serving you. Inhales up. Exhale down. One last one. With your exhale, go down a little bit further if you can. Inhales to come up. Go ahead, replacing or bending that right leg. Doing the same thing with the left one, reaching out. And if this is too much for you, then bring the right leg in. It doesn't have to go out. This just helps get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Grounding through that left foot, really pushing away with the hands again. Feeling nice length through the spine. And then when you're ready, with your exhale, start to put the butt and hips back and to the right a little bit, towards the heel area. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back down. Still pushing away with the hands, engaging the core. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, melt down. Inhales up. Exhale down. Never losing focus of why we're here today. Inhale, breathing in, God. Exhaling you. Surrendering yourself to Him. Inhale all the way up. One last one. Exhale down. Go a little bit deeper. Inhale, come all the way up. And with your exhale, bring the knees back together. Going into another child's pose. Hips go back. Reach out with the hands. Letting the head go down again to the mat. Resetting anything if your mind likes to wander again. Bring it back to this moment. Breathing into the back line of the body. Where do you feel it? In the kidneys, the low back area, side body, belly, back. Nothing right or wrong. just taking this moment to feel it. That's one thing I love about going a little slower. You can really feel things out. And listen to what your body needs and your spirit. And it's a little easier to have focus on our Father when we're in this moment. When you're ready, with your next inhale, push into the hands. Come on up with the chest. This time with the right foot, we're going to go ahead and replace that right hand. Going a little bit further, heel toe that right foot out so that your arms have the space. If you notice here, my shoulders are nice and open. So you're going to be out a little bit with that right hip. Go ahead, open up here. If you need to, you can always have books or blocks too, if this is a little too far down for you. Letting the hips go down. Try not to sink into it all the way. You're still having this activation and trying to keep the energy up. So like scissor legs, your legs are trying to come together. And still pushing away, chest leading the way, breathing in God. And with your exhale, we're going to start to straighten that front leg into this hamstring stretch. Hips are staying over that back knee. Starting to move with our breath. Inhales to come up with the chest. Exhale down. Flexing the feet. Letting the head go down, kind of like a surrender again. Inhale, chest comes up, breathing in God. Exhaling you. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale back down. This time with the inhale, we're coming up. And go ahead, let that left or that back leg go out to the right. You're going to start to come in with that back hip down to the ground. And when you do that, notice what happens with your chest. If it starts to collapse, this is where you can kind of use your top thigh to push yourself up. Or if you have blocks, you can do that, or books as well. So again, go where it feels good. Maybe you're still on the ground or on your fingertips, or maybe you're up here. We're going to start to kind of move with our breath. So inhale, you're kind of backing off a little bit, squeezing the hips together. Exhale, going down a little bit further. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now if you're up here, with that left hand, you're going to bring it all the way up and reach it out. You can stay up here, or if you're down here, you can do the same thing. It does not matter. Just notice that if your right leg likes to come forward, you're pushing it away with that bottom arm. You're not letting it collapse. One more breath. And with your next inhale, come all the way up. Switching arms. Exhale down. Into that hamstring stretch. Good. And from here, your legs are going to stay the same, but you're going to start to walk your hands all the way around. It's going to look a little funky. So you're going to have your hand, your knee, and your foot all in alignment. And go ahead with that right arm. Sweep it all the way up first, thinking about length, getting that left or bottom shoulder blade down your back. And then with your next inhale, reaching up to the top of the mat. Feeling a nice side body stretch. Notice if you're collapsing in the chest. Open it up if you can. Pushing away. And then with your exhale, this is where you can kind of round it down. I feel like a little ballerina when I do this. Feeling a nice stretch on the back. Shoulders square up here. You can even reach out with the hand. Inhale, come on up. Open up the chest. Exhale down. Reach in. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more like that. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Walk your way back up to that front foot or that right foot. Come into one more hamstring stretch. With the exhale, really melt down. Surrendering anything, especially if there's tension, telling it to relax. And you'll come up again with the chest, bending the front knee. Go ahead, put your hands to square off the front foot. Meet the back one. For a plank here, really sending the heels back. Feeling a nice stretch on the back line of the body. You can teeter-totter just by pointing the toes. You'll go forward and back. Engage the core. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Go ahead, bend the knees. Either in or out, whatever variation of child's pose you want to do again today. And again, anytime we're in this pose, tell the mind to settle, to be in this moment, to stay here with the breath. This is a great reset for the mind. Nice big inhales. Full and complete exhales. Couple more times. Nice big inhales. Don't be afraid to make your exhale audible. Let anything go with it. Inhale again, breathing in God and all the love He has for you. Exhaling, surrendering anything that's not serving you today, whatever you might have came with today. One more big breath. With your next inhale, you're going to start to push into the hands. And then slowly come on up with the chest. We're going to take that left foot this time and bring it to replace that left hand. And if you're a little crowded in the shoulder space, just again, heel toe that foot out a little bit more. And then from here, you can send that back leg out a little bit more to feel a nice stretch in the hips. Don't just hang here though. Think of the legs kind of activating and coming together while they open up the chest. Do your best. Again, it's always nice to have blocks or books, or if this is too much and you're collapsing, you can just kind of come up a little bit and push your arm against the leg. Whatever, again, feels good to you. Take the time, listen, note it, and then go somewhere that it feels good to you. Any kind of modification. One more breath. And with your next exhale, we're going to start to straighten that front leg into a hamstring stretch or half splits, flexing that front foot, stacking the hips behind or on top of that back knee. Again, breathe in here, inhale, kind of coming up with the chest, getting a nice long spine, and with the exhale, collapse into it. Note where you feel it. If it's ever behind the knee, just bend it a little bit. And rather you feeling it behind the hamstrings, not the knee. One more breath. And with your next inhale, we're going to move with our breath. Come on up with the chest. Exhale, folding down into it. Two more, moving with your breath. Inhales to come up. Exhale down. Inhale, breathing in God. Put a smile on your face. Exhale, surrendering or breathing out you. Inhale, when we come up this time, think about that back foot or that right one coming in towards the side of the mat. And this way you're able to open up the hip line a little bit. Again, you can stay down here if you want and try to keep the chest up and go down and back. For me, it's a little easier if I come onto the forearm and put my right hand on the hip. So exhale, going into it, feeling it
right in the front of the back leg. Inhale, releasing a little bit. Legs come together. Exhale, going into it. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, leading with the crown of your head to come up. Exhale down. This time, inhale, the right arm comes all the way up. Open up through the chest. You can always stay here. Think of your arms being an extension of one another. Or if you're able to, go ahead and let the left one come down as the right one comes up. Just notice if your chest likes to clap. Try to keep it open here. And same thing if your front leg likes to come into the arm. Push away with the arm to open up the hips a little bit more. One more breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to bring the top arm down with the exhale. And then slowly start to go back, straightening that front leg. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Again, you want this right hand, the knee, and the foot all in one nice line. Once you got the nice line, you're going to open up with that top or left hand, reaching up. Same thing, push away from that bottom arm, that right one. Exhale, you're going to come down, square the shoulders to the mat. You can stay here if you want to reach out a little bit more, setting the hips back. Inhale, hips come up again with the chest. Exhale down, squaring the shoulders, and then reaching out. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale, breathing in God. Exhaling you. And then when you're ready, we're doing that same thing, walking nice and slow with our hands back to the front. Let that right leg slide back for one more hamstring stretch here. Surrendering. Inhale, come up with the chest. Frame off the front of the foot and pick up the back leg to send the front one to meet the back one. Same thing, holding your plank here. Sending the heels back first, engage the core. Inhale, come forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Go ahead, you can do one more, or one downward dog if you'd like. Sending the hips up. Go ahead, pushing away from the arms and the hands. Pedal out the legs. Go where it feels good. If this is too much for the shoulders, go into another child's pose. Breathe in here yet. One more full inhale. Complete exhale. Slowly with your next inhale, come on forward with the chest. Exhale, knees come down. Cross at the ankles and come into a seated position. From a seat, we're just going to go ahead and get the legs out about hip width or maybe even a little bit further away. We're going to let the hands go backwards and see if your fingers can face forward while you lift up the chest with the inhale. If this is too much and your shoulders are just a little tight and you feel like you're collapsing, allow the space by rotating your fingers out and see if that makes it a little easier. So whichever variation, go where you can lift the chest up and kind of relax, getting your neck in neutral line with the spine. So no need to crank it back. Go again where it feels good. Find lightness. One more breath. Inhale, breathe in God and love into your heart. And with your exhale, slowly start to round down the butt, tucking the tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, we're going to open up. Let the tailbone come up, arching through the back. Moving with your breath. Exhale down. Inhale up. Two more just like that. Inhale, breathing in God. Exhaling you. Good. To come out of it, slowly come up and widen your feet up a little bit more even. You can have your hands on your knees for a little bit. And then if you're able to, start to melt forward. Some might just be staying here. Others you can maybe reach forward. Again, allowing your hips to move open. Surrendering the neck and shoulders and the head, letting it all go to gravity. Breathing into the back line of the body. Feeling at peace, knowing that you are loved and you are exactly where you need to be right now. With your next inhale, slowly start to walk your hands back up, letting your chest come up at the same time. Whatever you're available or able to reach, if it's the knees, hold on to the knees. If it's the ankles or the feet, does not matter. Again, you can either just stay here lifting up the chest, whatever variation, or if you would like to try, engage the core and just pick up one foot and maybe the other one. Trying to do a little balance, have a little fun with it maybe. You can maybe straighten one leg or the other. One more breath. With your exhale, you're going to bring your feet together. Holding on to the ankles, you're really going to try to get that chest up as you roll the shoulders down the back. One more breath. Breathing into your heart space, all that love. And with your exhale, start to fold down into it. However you want. If you want to just push the elbows against the thighs and stay here, or if you wanted your hands to go out. And just a couple more breaths. Okay, where do you feel your breath today? With the inhales, what's expanding? And with your exhale, create a little bit more space and room to allow God to enter. With your next inhale, breathing in Him. Exhale, breathing out you. Shake the head out a little bit. And slowly come back up with your inhale. Chins to the chest. It's the last thing to come up. Good. We can cross the legs, or again, go where it feels good. If you want, you can put one out. Try to sit up nice and tall here. And we're just going to roll out the wrist. We did a lot on the wrist today. So roll them out a little bit. You can maybe put them on the mat. You can flip them. Again, just taking time, see where it feels good. One of my favorites to do is probably connecting it with the breath again. So when you're ready, go ahead, make some fists. Go about shoulder width apart. Send the shoulder blades down your back here. So nice, active in the arms. When you're ready, we're going to just roll them under. So you're going to feel a nice stretch on the forearms, the back of the wrist. And then with your inhale, you're going to start to straighten out through the fingers and come up with the palms. With your exhale, make fist and send it down. Inhale, come up. Exhale down. Inhale up. This time go ahead and pull one back with the help of the other hand. Same thing, exhale, make a fist and go down. And maybe you can help with the hand as well. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, come up with this one. And if you want to assist, pull the fingers back a little bit. With your exhale, make a fist, roll it down, and assist with the other hand. Good. Roll it out one more time. One more big breath, all the way up. Exhale, bring hands into heart center. And you can just sit up here, letting your chin kind of go down to your chest. And breathing into the heart and into behind the heart space between those shoulder blades. Feeling this love that God has for us. So many times during the day we find ourselves occupied by stuff that's in the future or in the past, and we lose the gratitude of this present moment of the breath and everything in that moment, because that's where God lives. He lives in the now. That's where we can notice him and receive him, not wishing and waiting. He's here now. He wants to take your burdens away. So anytime you notice that you're thinking of your to-do list or you're daydreaming about how nice it would be if this was done or that was done, or whatever your mind is occupied with. Maybe it's guilt and you keep telling your story over and over. But if you're not finding happiness, you have this choice to go to our Father. Come to him now. Ask for him to come into your heart, to open it up so that we may love as you love, Father. This unconditional love. Thank you so much for joining me. Go in peace. Namaste.